Okay. We should be working. What do you guys do while I stream? While I steam? While I stream? Do I need to wear pants now? That's silly. Okay. I'm missing. Where am I? There. Oh, here I am. I went to the Shadow Realm. Huh. Seems to be working. Aha, we are back up and running. That is good. Yeah, I do not know what just happened. I just know that my software kind of just took a big uh melatonin. They're still trying to wake up. I gotta animate my hand to do pin spins. That would be hilarious. I need to find out what technology I need for that. I noticed that my hand on my tablet is not cooperating. Ooh, why is it not? Arrow. Oh, it's gone. What? I'm so confused. Why is everything starting to mess up? It's a curse. Alright, everything seems to be fine now. Okay. So besides that big oopsie, this stream we're gonna be focusing on 3 different things because I do have the time to do such things. So uh first thing that we're gonna be focusing on, and I realize my pen is blue. Cyan, I mean. Need to go to darker color. The first thing that we're going to be working on is finishing a bit of the plants that we were working last stream. Yes, Windows, I know. So we're going to be finishing the plant textures. And then for the second thing that we're going to be doing on the stream today is that we are going to be looking into, I guess you can tell by the title, uh, at least the equivalent of 2 new animal concepts. Animal concepts, or we can also label it as like creatures. And then for the third thing, when we get to that, I am going to be working on my new starting soon screen. Yay! We love the new stuff. Oh, I wrote crooked. Anyway, so finishing plain textures, looking at least 2 animal concepts or creatures, and then my new starting soon screen, starting to, or not starting to, sorry, be right back, and then stream ending screen, your typical overlays. And then I'm also going to be working on some panels as well for it, for like my about section. How big is my tablet? It is very huge. Let's see. If I remember right, we're looking at 23 something inches horizontally. So, in I guess width. No, length, sorry. And then I believe it was 18 or 16. And No, this is width. Sorry. This is width, this is length. Anyhow, enough of that. So, finishing the plant textures. We're going to save this screen here for the 2 animal concepts. Let's head back to our plant textures. I gotta go hunt those down. Da, 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 da. Textures. Texture maker. Here we go. Okay, so this is where we left off on. We made our leaf texture for one of the upcoming plants. This one here. I can't pronounce that. I'm guessing that is pronounced Vernon plant. But this leaf will be utilized for the heart-shaped looking leaves that we have here for this plant. I was trying to look into fixing up a little bit of the details on the stem, because when I looked at it off stream, it was kind of iffy for me, so I want to revisit that and rework on it. Because I want to see if we can try to recreate what we got going on here. Anyhow, so now that we got that mentioned, let us work back on that. So we are going to head over to, oh, if it lets me scroll, here. I'm going to head over to our folder 4. So this right here is our shining. This is our shadow. Then this here, okay, so this is the base texture. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna need to recolor this its base color. So I need to figure out what that color was again. I wish I kind of saved it. I should have saved it, really. That's too dark. So we get rid of the shadow. This is soft light. This should be the base color. Oh, why is that right clicking? Oh. Okay, so more technical difficulties. Why did it reset? Okay, this digital pen. What? You're supposed to be my color picker. Huh. Oh, that is... Oh, or is it because I'm on that? Okay, that's... I should have known better. Okay, it was because I had this object tool selected. Alright, so let's grab that light color down here. It's hard to see. Actually, let me close my window blinds because it is throwing me off. There we go. Now I can see it better. Grab the lightest color we have. Let's come back to our stem. I do need to document the color down. I think this layer, yeah, this would do. Let me document the color. This is the base color. Now we're going to enable back the lock the transparent pixels. Here, we're going to enlarge our pen stroke, or brush size, I guess. Color over it. Now we get a flat thing back. Let's see. Cool. Now we have our base color back. Alright, so we're going to need to do what we did last time. We're going to copy the bottom layer, or not bottom layer, but the bottom of this stem for the leaf. Then I'm going to come up here, and we're going to use a texture brush. I believe it's this cloud brush that I got going on here. And then we're just going to kind of fade that in to make sure it kind of seamlessly transitions, you know? And then we're going to do the same thing for down here. Just don't want to overdo it. Let's make it easier for me to see. So let's get a new layer. Let's change our color. Let's do that. Let's hide this layer. Hide this layer. Hide this. Why won't you let me? Oh, because I hidden the layer. That makes sense. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker in the background. It's easier to see. Let's enable our stems back. Let's bring that back. Not me forgetting which layer I had my leaves on. Ah, that's why. Okay, so now it's not showing up because I have this layer way blocking it. Bring this all the way down, I guess. To here is fine. Let's try this again. Wait, what? So that's not it? Okay. There we go. This is a new campfire character, do you see? No. It's just a leaf. Can't believe I had problems with that. Okay. We'll blame it on stage fright. Yes. That is my excuse for my technical difficulty. Here's this layer. Okay. Let's go back, get our texture brush to the cloud. Now we can see the transition of the colors a little bit better. I think what I'm gonna do now is lower the saturation and adjust the hue a bit. See what this looks like. Ah, now we have a darker tone fading in like a gradient. That's what we wanted. Let's grab this color back and kind of just adjust it throughout the stem. Just a bit more. Grab back our dark color. Let's fix this a bit down here. And make it feel a little scattered. And then we need to adjust it up here for this, actually. Without looking at my tablet. My tablet is a very big screen tablet. So I'm constantly looking at it. Now, back in the day, I used to have a tablet where it just didn't have a screen. It's just a very small, your regular base tablet. And I would just draw like that. I'll admit I was pretty bad with it. But that's okay. We grow, we learn. I think it was this layer. No, that's the shadow layer. Ah, here we go. Let's go ahead and add that dark color into it a bit. Now do keep in mind, we don't want it to make too much realism for this. I mean, my art style isn't really realism, but close enough to it. Because we don't want to overdo it, but we want to keep it as lineless as possible. That way we still stay within the parameters of Campfire's art style. So this is looking just a little bit better, but I think what we need to do is not use this dark edge sides because it's kind of overdoing it. I think what we're better off doing is just not using any multiply or shadows for that right now. What we can do is try to add just a smidge bit of more details into these leaves. When I mention details, I mean like little small intricates, like how do I explain it? Depth. We can learn how to work with depth. I'm surprised that I am not blinking. My eyes are very dry, my friends. They're very dry. Why am I not blinking? Huh? Yeah, that's what I was saying. The shadows, it will wrap around the stem. It will mess it up. So that's what I'm not going to do. I think I fixed my character. It should be blinking now. I don't know. If he doesn't blink, blame Genki. Genki intimidated him. Anyhow. Alright. So we're gonna go to our new layer. We're going to make this layer adapt to the layer beneath it. I wonder if we should use a regular fine line brush, or we can adapt to a different type of brush. Let's do some play testing, see what we can work with. And because we're going to be drawing like details on the stem, just gotta make sure it kind of just doesn't overdo it. That is too dark. It's not what I'm looking for. It's too bright. Just gotta find that sweet spot. I think what I need to do, instead of having a normal layer, I think we need to look at either multiply or I think just multiply. Oh, that's color burn. Oops. Let's drop the opacity down. Keep dropping.
New follower, Astra Owo.
Oh, Astra, thank you for the follow. Oh, hey, we've reached our follower goal. That is very loud. Oh my god. Oh boy. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it so much. What is happening, jeez? Yeah, it's my streamer stuff. It is very loud. I apologize for that. Now what we're doing here is just adding a little bit of small little details into the stem. We're gonna go upward. And then while we're going upward, we're gonna try to, well, actually now that I think about it, I don't know. Because the stem does wrap around a solution. I know a solution. So what I'm talking about here is that when we have our stem, let's get a rectangle. Let's make this a little bit easier to see. Yes. So when we have our stem, we have our base texture, right? Or your base icon. Yeah, English. It's very fun. This is your base texture, okay? This is your base. We're gonna need to use your base just for your flat colors. And then the thing with the plant up here is that it does have like lines separated from the stem that develops the leaf itself, right? So what the 3D model needs to do is that once we have this as the base stem, they're going to have to create a separate base, so we're going to call it base 2, right? So when they wrap it around, it's a different model itself, and then you have that leaf. So this will be base 2. And then this will be, I guess... Sorry, why am I saying base? My brain is fried from today. Texture. Texture 2, and this will be the texture 3. Drum and bass. Yes. But that is how it should go. So I'm not too worried about making a little bit of an error, because a little bit of an error isn't really going to do much against the texture or the base texture. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Let's close that. Let's see. So we can leave the top alone because we want it to seamlessly connect. I think what the modeler can do is just borrow the texture from the top region and just apply it to that second texture. This is just pretty much me thinking out loud. That is a jump scare of a song. Yeah. Let's turn this down before I get a little disoriented. My goodness. This is 8 a.m. for Animal Crossing. Okay, some of y'all are Animal Crossing fans. So right now what I am trying to do is to get a base of the indents for the, I guess, rough texture of the plant. And then after that, I'm going to apply some like shadows to it, have some sort of 3D depth into it, to make it look like it's, I guess, sticking out in a way. Because with texture designs, we need to make designs where they are identifiable. You look at something, it's like, oh, hey, that's this. Or that looks like that. So right now I'm just playing with it. You'll grab all the plants that come to your hands, yes. Sounds like something I would do. Alright. Let's go ahead and make another layer, drop it to the second layer, or the layer below it, sorry. And then I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna apply another multiply, but we're gonna have this a bit darker. We're gonna go, I think what will look fine is within the yellow range. Actually, no, we're not gonna do that. Let's head further to the blue-green area and get down to the darker levels. Then we're gonna get our airbrush. Do I have VOD for Twitch active? I should. I was looking at it the other day, and I had my previous stream on there. If it's not anymore for some ungodforsaken reason, let me know, and I'll have to re-look into that, because it should be on. Just in case y'all don't know, I post my VODs on my YouTube channel. I'm kind of curious if my commands work, if somebody's willing to help me out. Can someone type !socials? Now, sometimes when it comes to making textures, it's really a trial to figure out what looks good and what doesn't look good. So with today, I'm just going to be trying to get at least some sort of a look into the textures. If something doesn't look right and that we need to reevaluate something, I will go back into this and we'll have a texture update for the plant. So right now, everything that you see here is subject to change with this stem texture. With the leaf itself, I don't see that changing anytime soon because I think that is heavily identifiable. So we need to drop the multiply level just a bit more. I think what's throwing me off right now is that it's pixelated. Okay, here's the solution. We don't use this brush anymore. Oh shit. In layer, we're gonna try again, but instead of using that raggedy texture brush, we'll try something else. No, I can't utilize anything from there, so we're just gonna have to stick with this brush. What are we looking at here? Oh, of course. I have a frog pencil. I'm favoring that one here. Do we have a textured pen? I think we should work with the texture pen. Yeah, we'll use the texture pen. Multiply. Actually, let's not multiply for this one. What we can do is make it darker. So there we go. Something like that, just something so small. We don't need anything that's so over the top. And what helps give something texture is like, okay, so after I finish giving these lines here a shadow, I'm gonna show you a technique that a lot of artists use in their line of work when it comes to making assets for video games. And I guess this will be just like a little fun educational process to show you guys. I do plan to educate myself a little bit more in making stylized textures. There is this channel that I've been looking at, but I don't really know much about them. But I've heard good things, I guess. I don't remember the name, unfortunately, but I'll find it later on my Instagram feed. Okay, now we have that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a multiply layer. This time we actually need a multiply layer, and then we're gonna get our airbrush. See, okay. I think it's best to use the same color. Methinks. So we do want these little textures just to pop out a bit. We don't want them to be so over the top though. I did dev a little bit. I did develop. My brain is so fried today, I swear. I did dive into some exploration with colors. And for, I guess, a seasonal type of leaf, I was looking at autumn leaves. And I found that I can use my hue and saturation wheel to change the leaves without having to recreate them. So that's very helpful and handy. And they looked pretty nice. I would show, but I'm quite busy with this already. Alright, so now that we have that already done, we can explore with another layer, adjust to the layer below it, and we're going to go with soft light, and I'm going to go up to, I guess, close to white, but not there. Something a little bit bright. And we're going to use our airbrush again. Yes. So it's a bit bright. We don't want that. So what we're doing is just lowering the opacity a bit to where it's not so prominent. Light does reflect on a lot of things, and I know that you can simulate lighting through your game engine, but sometimes textures do need some, just like a little bit of a kicker to enhance it when you use the simulated lighting, like with shaders, let's say. That's what I've learned, at least, just by watching videos, is that they do implement their own little bits of light, but it's so faint, depending on the texture, might I mention, that you're working on. Now they kind of look like they pop out, which is good. That's what we want. Now that we got that done, just fix this a bit. All right, sweet. So here comes the fun part. So, when it comes to giving things texture, I say things openly because I can be broadened out to all kinds of textures that you use. What people do is that they apply a noise-like filter to the object itself. So what I am going to look into now is try to see what kind of noise I can apply, but I can also explore with adding a texture through an external file. And like, for example, you can find a rough material online, like a paper or clothing. You can use that as a noise. So let's go ahead and look at that. Make sure everything here. Okay, cool. So we have the folder tab checked. Yeah, I won't be able to see the tabs that I'm looking at, so this is gonna be silly for y'all. Here we go. Noise. Or can I not do that with the folder? It appears not. Let's see what it'll look like if I applied noise to the base texture. So this is what color noise looks like, right? You can change it to gray. And you can adjust the strength of it. Now this looks like McDonald's Sprite, but we don't want McDonald's Sprite. We just want a very faint use of noise. So you scroll in, you see that usage of noise. So it's not so flat and so dull and so boring, right? Let me show you. You won't be able to see what I'm seeing here. I turn off the preview. This is what it looks like. It's flat. It's just completely fat. It looks boring. But I turn the preview back on. This is what we're looking at now. This looks nice. This is a technique that game artists like to do with their stuff. Is apply a noise filter. Let's go ahead and confirm it because I like what we're looking at already. It's not so dull. It's variant. It varies. Okay. And another thing that you can do, let me go ahead and import it actually. I'm gonna use my mouse for this. So you won't see this, but I'm gonna go to my folder and I'm gonna go find some texture. Here we go. I have this texture here. This is the ivory off-white paper texture. When you zoom in, it just has all that detail. This is just an example, by the way. I'm not going to officially use this. Unless it looks good and convincing, then maybe. So I'm going to copy this. Go back here. And then we're going to go to paste. This is what it looks like. It's going to fill the canvas. Next thing you do, just going to get your lasso tool. Go all the way around. Select it. Then you're going to transform it. Then we're going to reduce the size. Just for example purposes, we're gonna just enlarge it to that big. We're gonna click confirm. You won't be able to see it, but we're clicking confirm. And then we're going to deselect. Now what we're gonna do is that since we have this layer bit here, we're going to make sure it clips to the layer below it. Now it's only showing on that leaf layer texture. So the next step that you're gonna do is you're going to go to your layer styles tab, and then you can choose between overlay, multiply, or other things like exclusion or even hard light. But I think we're going to use overlay here. Yes, so we're going to use overlay, and because it is a white texture, white dominant texture, it's going to make your texture or your base texture that you're using more brighter. Now, what you can do to override that, well, override's not really the word, but to help it is just lower the opacity. Now, we still have our previous filter applied to it, so what we can do is just add it to the other layer. But it gives that little grainy texture to it. Turn it off, you don't really see much of that. But you turn it back on, there it is. Now, if you want to, I mean, you can, to make it like more prominent, or not prominent, more obvious. Let me fix that. That's not what I wanted. You could turn off the clip to layer, select your thing again, and just scale it further down. Just click OK, clip to the layer below, and you just have a bit of a more fine detail of noise. I'm performing witchcraft. Nah, I'm just being educational. It's good to learn stuff like this. It's good to teach things like this. It helps people learn. It helps me learn. Now, because I applied that filter filter, that noise grain to it. I'm going to also explore that for this stem up here, but we're not overly mixing up the files. This layer, filter, effect, noise. Click OK. Now we have a bit of a noise to it. Now, when you're looking at it, when you're looking at it in game, you will not. Like I promise you this, you will not be able to see all this grainy looking texture to it. It's up to the artist on how they're able to execute its visual. But when you look at it from here, it looks like it's nothing but a regular stem. That's the point. Anyways, so what I wanted to do is done. For that, let me save that. The next thing that we should look into is this spirally plant. I did have leaves already in the works for it, but after talking with Yankee, we need to sort of just adjust it a bit more. So let me pull those up actually. I believe it's this layer. Oh, it's not showing because I'm okay. Yeah, go figure. I'm gonna turn off the background and we're gonna turn off the shadow. So this is what these leaves look like. They're not exactly what we're looking for. What is this song? This is even a song? We're turning it off. Jesus. Okay. That threw me off big time. Anyhow. So for this, we have these. Let me change my layer. This. Bring our color to red. Okay. So with these leaves, we're sitting it into like a small little pot, and that is not helping. Let's fix that. So we're sitting in a small little pot here. And for these leaves, they kind of start skinny, and then they kind of curve, and they finish each other. Start skinny, they curve out, finish each other, they meet each other at the tip. That's what I tried exploring with this particular leaf here. And another thing that me and Genki talked about is that we shouldn't have too much symmetry when it comes to leaves. And I agree. This is something I did not consider at the time, and I'm glad I had somebody like Genki to overview that and help me out with seeing that. So we're going to focus on these leaves real quick, and after we get done getting focused on this, we're going to work on the pot here. We're going to get a texture for it. And after we acquire a texture for the pot, we're going to move on to our second thing that we're going to do on the stream. So let's jump right back into it. So let's head over to our leaf folder. These are the shadows for it. Let me actually reconstruct this so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we have our base color. Our base color here is this bright lime green. We don't want this color. So what we're going to do is that we should make sure that the layer is locked. It's transparent pixels. We're going to color select this. And because we need like a darker green, I think I could just color pick this to make it easier. Yes, I'll color pick it, but I'm not going to use that color. And bring it closer to the yellow stage. try to drag up that. That might be the color what we're looking for. I'm gonna fill. It's a bit too dark. Let's raise up the color. This is what we're looking for. I agree with this color. Okay, sweet. So now that we have identified what we're going to be doing with this, let's try to make another leaf now that we're at it. Let's turn off lock pixels. Make sure on that layer. Yes, we are. That's not what I want. Lasso tool. Can I rotate the canvas? Oh, that's right. I don't have it bounded yet. I should have done that before the stream. It's fine. So we're going to try to re-explore this third leaf here. We're going to try to recreate it that we were working on this here, on the spire leaf. Just going to drag it down here. What I'm going to do is use my symmetry tool, because we want the leaf to look, you know, right. I'm going to test this lasso tool, because I'm not sure. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. Let's get one look at this again. Starts off skinny, curves, and it meets each other at the tip. So we're gonna start off skinny. Let's see, can I shift with this? No, I cannot. Kind of like what I did right here, so I'm gonna just work off of it. Go up a bit. I'm gonna curve out and come in and meet each other at the tip. I don't believe in this, but oh, it works. Oh, beautiful. So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna turn off our symmetry tool. To our eraser. Let's find this tip up here, and we don't want it to be so diamond-like. Although I love the diamond shape. Diamond shape is my favorite. And then this is a bit too wide now that I'm looking at it. What we're gonna do is come in a bit more. And then we're gonna slightly curve down and then drop down. It's not symmetrical right here, so I'm going to have to investigate. While I'm doing that, how has everybody's day been so far? It is currently 3:02 p.m. for me in my area. Hopefully it's somewhat daytime in your area, where you are living now. I just had this funny thought of an AA meeting. I think what I'm gonna do here is, because it's too messed up, I'm gonna cut across with a straight erase this bit. Then I'm gonna get my rectangular tool and just do it like that. See, we gotta be smart, my friends. We have to be smart. It's like what my father always tells me, you know, something to live through your life with. He says to always be smarter than what you're working with. Always be smarter than what you're working with. My dad. My dad. Anyway, so now that we got that leaf, I kind of actually like this a lot more than what that is. But it's good that we have alternating variants. We have a very fine tip here, and then we have sort of just a rounded-ish tip. Hasn't really had a chance to truly start yet. Well, I'm sorry that your day hasn't truly started yet, but I'm sure it will eventually. Impossible. This game is outsmarting me in every way possible. I'm gonna lasso this quote of my dad. Put it in the corner. Hello, Genki. You didn't miss much. We kind of finalized on the previous texture. I added a noise filter to it and also gave some sort of educational uh, technique, I should say, to it. And now we're working on the next one. We are working on the spire leaf. I am adjusting the colors to a darker color now. I noticed that we have this particular leaf up here. I should have not done that. Let me back up. Okay. Notice we have this particular leaf here where it starts skinny and then it kind of curves outward and bends right back in and meets each other back at the tip. I know that we have the third and the first doing something similar at that, but I decided that this was not sufficient. So here I am making another one where I feel this is a bit more comfortable and more realistic in a way. Though I can always make it more thinner for you. CJ tricked me into making mods for the game we've been playing. It's a miserable experience at the moment. Oh, what game are y'all playing? I'm surprised CJ convinced you to make mods. I don't know how to make mods for any game. I mean, I tried back in the day, like a long time ago for Minecraft. My first attempt at making textures for a mod, I guess, would be through Minecraft. This is back when I was like 12 years old. Warhammer Darktide. I've never heard of this game before. Is it good? Did it recently come out? What is going on here? What? Oh, okay. I see what I did. So, what I did here... Oh, Lord. Scambot. Goodbye. I do not need the likes of the scammers to be in my chat. That is a big no-no. Here at Hasako Stream, we entrust that our viewers remain safe from these scam bots. In future, please rely on us to protect you. We are looking for moderators, actually. Trust us with your safety in Hasako Stream. A big triangle base shape. It's time for the wheeze. Could you elaborate on that big triangle shape? Like, are you talking just like a legit... Oh, that's the wrong layer. You're talking about like just a legit that, and then that, or... I mean, if you're using a tool, you can use like an ellipse clips it like that, and then you can do a polyline. Make a triangle that way. Ah, I don't need to make it curvy. I'm sorry, but my brain just... I saw this, like, oh, Squid Games. Okay, we don't have to make it that curvy. So, let's go ahead and get another leaf variant because I don't want to backtrack. So I'm just going to head to give out the most possible leaves that we can. So I'm going to bring back my symmetry tool. See if we can sketch it out maybe. I just want to see if I just do like a slight curve. What about this? It's like slightly curved and then straight. Nice. Okay, so we'll roll with it. We'll have this as a leaf variant. What we're gonna do, we're gonna turn off our symmetry tool. Then we're gonna select our leaf. We're gonna scale it more. That we have tons of room to work with it. Let's put it here under this because I kind of want to have this under the slim category. Now what we're going to do again is re-enable our symmetry tool, but we got to make sure we align it perfectly. Yes, okay. Next step, make sure we're on the right layer. Okay, this works. Let's get a, we can just use, no, I'm lazy. Let's go to our lasso tool. Let's go to our special tool, fill shape tool. And then I'm just gonna trace this. I felt it was necessary to just not use this. Consider this as a boundary box. Perfect. It's good to look at that. Good leaves. Good leaves. Good soup. Alright, so what did I do here? So it looks like I used a slightly dark green here and I merged it with I'm guessing somewhere within this range of green and blue. That's what it looks like. I'm sorry if you did not understand any of that jargon. Let me turn that back on because I cannot see jack. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I do need to get an eraser to fix this because this is not... No, we don't need that here. I hear a bird flapping. This is some interesting music combination. Epic composing. I wanted to tell a joke I like, but I forgot it already. That's just Welcome to my brain. Okay, so what we're gonna do is make this as a big airbrush. I'm gonna slightly airbrush the bottom of these. And then what we're gonna do next, we're gonna get to closer to there. In the dark green, or not dark green, sorry, blue-green area, we're gonna go to a lighter. We're gonna kind of color the tips a bit. Because we don't want it exactly too dull. Change the color just a bit down in saturation. Kind of make it more prominent up there. That's good. Next thing I should do is get closer back and hue over here to the lighter green area. Let's drop the saturation here. Because I kind of want a middleman, so I kind of want to strike it in the middle of these. Let's try this with a dark background. So I am having a bit of a hard time differentiating it. Let's go back to our old Discord era. There you go. This helps. Yep. Sweet. So now that we have these implemented, I'm coming back in here. So let's start with the next layer. So it looks like I used a cloud brush for this. What about this layer? I used diamond dust. This is where I started my veins. Okay, veins. I know. Are they called veins? Like on a leaf? What kind of joke was it? I have some great knockback ones. Don't really know if I can successfully do one here though. Ah. uh. Why do cows have hooves and not feet? While that gets answered, I'm gonna work on these leaves. I need to bring back my brush texture though. So we're gonna go to our effects. We're gonna go to our backgrounds and we're gonna go find our cloud brush. I think it was this one, methinks. Oh jeez, that was too. Select that color. Yes, this is the brush. Got it. Y and Cosmo. So, why do cows have hooves and not feet? Well, I mean, it's because they lactose. Hazuko has lost 20 subscribers or followers. That would be absolutely hilarious. She's gonna strangle me. I'll see you in Campfire then. That's where you can find me and strangle me. Okay. Who's there, garbage? Crafter? The thing is, I don't know if I should keep that. What I'm gonna do, actually, is ignore this. We're gonna make a completely different texture file for that. Because I don't want to overdo that. Because we're doing this for the spire leaf, we can use that for a different leaf. variant. What I'm gonna do is copy these leaves here, or well, duplicate these leaves, and I'm gonna drag them outside, and then we can start a whole different folder for these guys. New folder. Grab these two, shove them in folder 5. Adilio? Adilio? Not sure what that is. My mobile font is screwing with us to let L's or I's or whatever they might be. I'm guessing they're L's. I didn't know you could yodel. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. That's a good one. Um, okay, I got another one for y'all. Shoot. What does the escalator say when it stops? I don't know. It just stares. Insert laugh track. Actually, I do have one. Hold on. Uh, I love the audio I have for my soundboards. The sun is shining directly onto my tablet, and I do not like that. My goodness. There we go. I can somewhat see now. I really do not understand this daylight saving stuff. It really messes with me. Let me reverse everything I just did. I'm gonna make a new layer. Then we're gonna go to our soft light. We're gonna go choose to a vibrant yellow tone color. Yellow greenish color. Let's explore that. Nope. I'm not gonna do that. Let's go to a darker. Nope, we're not doing that. Let's undo everything that I just did. Just turn that back on, turn that off. See, it doesn't let you have a soundboard. It's tragic. Why is that? Do enlighten me. Oh, I've been using the wrong layer this entire time. Shoot. Let's drop down. Multiply, forward multiply. What does it look like if I go into the warm color section? Use a brown. Nope. Maybe I should not try to use a color brush for this. I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and draw the little veins onto the leaf, and then we'll work on that from there. For the leaves, I do think we should use a brown, or the veins. Should use a brown. The dark tie Discord y'all have, the soundboards are just disabled, and it's a travesty. Yeah, I can just about imagine. We can't use a brown. You can get close to the yellow green and just use a dark green color. We are multiplying it. That's what's killing it for me. Let's start from the center. Work down. That is a crooked ass leaf. My Control Z on my keyboard's broke, so that's not fun at all. Oh boy. You could reset yours, yes. But will you? That is the question to be answered. To be or to not be. To be or not to be. Said a very famous guy that holds people's skulls. It's just too much effort. I understand where you're coming from. I have had quite a day today. I mean, last night, I was just struggling to sleep. Just kept waking up. I think I woke up about maybe 5 times throughout the night. Not a pleasant experience, I'll say. I'm sure people have had similar experiences when it came to sleeping and waking up and miss the night. Anyhow, I got up for school at like 6 something, went to class at around 9, and I just sat in my anatomy and physiology class waiting for the instructor. During that time, I was just tired. Just tired. Anyhow, throughout all that fun, we went over our new chapter that we were starting today. In this chapter, we are talking about chemistry. And then we were talking about protons, electrons, neutrons. I think I said that already. No, protons, electrons. Okay. Yeah, and then the neutrons. We were talking about how they collaborate with each other, how they can be ionic, covalent, and hydro something. I need to relook at my notes. This tells me that I need to study. We went through all that fun stuff. Been at the state in that class for, I guess, 2 hours. Learning about chemistry. But we didn't get too much into it. But hey, es lo que es. It is what it is. That's Spanish for those who don't know. Interesting. But yeah, I like biology. Biology is like one of my favorite subjects. I don't think I could say I adore it. Maybe that's not the word. Admire. I don't know. Not sure what the word I'm looking for. but it's one of my favorite subjects. And I guess it's partially one of my uh, reasons why I'm feeling comfortable swapping my major to pre-nursing, because pretty much all that stuff utilizes biology related content, and I like that stuff, so I'm going to find it fairly easy to enjoy. Welcome to the stream. You like biology too? Yes. It's nice to like biology. It's what makes you you. What makes you human. That's too big. What we can do is just add like little trinkets, little curves. Some leaves have that rippling like aesthetic to it, in a way. We don't want our leaves to be too symmetrical. Now for this generic shape, I think it's validated to be symmetrical. I'm not gonna try, so I'm just gonna symmetry tool it. I think that's fine for what we're doing. Need to turn off the symmetry tool so we don't make any more mistakes. I do need to invest into like a boom mic stand. Or not a boom mic, sorry. No, a mic stand. That way I can clip it to the edge of my desk and I can have it closer to my mouse. I'll say that I do like the microphone on the desk. It just causes too much space. It takes too much space, not causes too much space. Too much space is matter. It's everywhere. If y'all didn't know that, you're made of matter. That means you matter. Hahaha, so corny. Alright, I think for this, we're also just gonna have your generic symmetry. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do for this leaf. Cool. that. Then we have this right here. Oh, I need to turn off the symmetry tool. I always keep telling myself to do that. Turn it off. I think for this leaf, what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna have short lines sticking out instead of your typical long ones. And then the lines it like reconnect itself that way, and then curl in. Or just curl. So we are using different leaf variants. There we go. On the subject of biology, when I accidentally cut my hand open and was able to see my tendons and blood vessels, I was not scared, I was not disgusted. I viewed it with genuine fascination. We are definitely complex machines. Yep. Yep. Be careful you tell that to, especially therapists. They might consider putting you into the rubber room. Jokes aside, no. If you don't get scared by things like that and you find them fascinating, it's certainly something to be looking forward to if you are willing to commit to something like that. Like, there are jobs out there that require stuff like that to be seen. Like, for example, forensic science. There's criminal justice related materials that require things to see like that. You can also become a police officer. You could be an EMT. You could be a nurse, a doctor. Excuse me, a surgeon. Anybody that has to handle with the deep innards of the human body. Oh, you're aware. Let's just make sure, you know? Can never be too safe. Whatever's going on here, I'm not liking it. So instead of that, let's also give this some sort of like little details to it. I think for this, we're gonna have like really wrinkly lines. This one will have to be revised. But this is where we're sitting at right now. I need to save my file before anything happens. Save. My fingers. They are aching. Lordy, Lord, Lord. Poor fingers. Massaging my hand right now. I apologize. There we go. Feels a little bit better. Alright, so before, or not before, let's just make sure I just don't lose my track. I need to look at something. Correction layer, hue saturation. Just drop the saturation down. No, no. Luminosity, saturation. I think we can work with this. Cool. So that doesn't show up underneath there. Is this good? So we're changing the colors from this to this. I think this is a good move. After that, I started watching surgery videos. I felt more queasy watching those, but definitely fascinating. Or really, most jobs in which you dissect or work on animals would benefit from being okay with tendons. Yeah, it just depends on the person, really. But there are jobs for everything. Like, you can work at a morgue. Those people who work at the morgue deal with stuff like that daily. I've heard that people who work in the morgues, they do not enjoy the displeasant smells, but and everything else that comes with it, but they say it is a rewarding job. Me, I don't know how it's rewarding, but that's what I've been told. Okay, so I have the veins or whatever they are applied. Can make them a bit brighter. So what I'm gonna do now. Oh. Key dial, please don't mess with me now. I fixed you the other day. Okay, it's fine. Brighter. Pungent rot is apparently the worst smell there is. My nephew worked in a morgue as an assistant. I believe he enjoyed it a decent bit. Yeah, people do enjoy working at jobs like that. It's just I don't see the appeal personally, but I'd like to hear stories from people who do work there. I'd like to hear their version of what they get to experience on a day-to-day basis. Like I want to hear more instead of oh we do this and that, but that's it. Like nah, that's not it. There's definitely more to it. You just don't want to tell me. Don't want to tell me the goods. Don't want to tell me the deets. I say that and I'm like having in my head, what's the word? What's the haps? What's the word? What's the haps? What's your major? Oh, Lord help me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going ahead and starting to put some sort of shadow in between the line of the vein. I'm just calling veins. I am sure there's a different word for these. Um, that is to simulate a thing of depth. Um, sure, the uh, game engine can simulate shadows, but it does not simulate shadows on a flat surface. Now I mean, technically I can create a bitmap and see if that works, but I don't know if that will do anything for that. So what I'm doing is just precautionary. Increase this back up just to multiply so it's not so there. To be fair, I didn't see how he enjoyed it either, but I never questioned it, XD. Yeah, Some things you just don't question. One thing I learned is that there are a lot of things in life you just don't question. And then yeah, that is true. You just don't question it. Here in a bit after I get finished with the shadows for simulating depth for the little veins, I am going to apply a noise filter to the leaves. Grayscale height maps. Yeah, yeah, it's true, it could. I mean, making the body look pleasant and alive before laid to rest so the family can say goodbye in a way that won't hurt as much will make you feel like you good. Like you would. I mean, let's take into consideration working at a morgue is, for lack of better words, I guess, an art form. You know, you are applying some sort of artistic related practice when it comes to working at a morgue and applying makeup, applying corrections to a said unalived person. May their soul rest, but it is something like that. If someone enjoys working with bodies like that, then they enjoy it. Well, yeah, they enjoy it. I mean, go them. Okay, so I'm not liking what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do, turn that off, turn these back on, turn on lock transparent pixels, select color. We're gonna change the color of the stem sleeves, the veins. Oh my god. So we're not gonna work with this. I'm at a 4.0, so I'm gonna crease it. I think what we're gonna do is change it. Is that because it's multiply? Yes, that's because it's a multiply. I'm not sure about this olive green color, so let's try something else. Go back to the greens. That's too bright. It's too dark. Fuses. Welcome back, Shade. I almost said shit. Please tell me I don't have to. Okay. Looks like I might need to disassemble my dial again and figure out why it's messing up. Because it's getting stuck on itself. Took a shower. You are now squeaky clean. I could smell you through the screen. I just didn't want to say anything. It might have came off as rude. Sure, everybody else here felt the same. So what I'm doing now is I'm changing the vein colors to like a darker brown color, and then multiply. Because if it's too much, it's just not gonna look right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase all of this multiply color. That is not. I'm gonna erase all the multiply color. Yeah, it's just too dark. I'm gonna have to try a different color. Might have to explore my green area. Could explore the blue. Just curious. Yeah, I thought so. Blue. We're gonna go with blue. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Blue color. Let's go. We could try darker blue. Yep. Garlic bread is the best. I love garlic bread. Like one of my favorite little dinner side dishes. My grandparents can make really good garlic bread. A world with no garlic bread is a world not worth being in. Yes, I certainly agree. If I ever get reincarnated into another world and there is no garlic bread, you know you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell my reincarnator, let's try again. This time I'm gonna win that 50-50. I could just invent it. Yeah, it's true. I could. Okay, Genki, good night. I'll see you another time. Monopolize the garlic bread? I surely could. Oh, it's like the xylophone. I believe that's what I'm hearing. The xylophone. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I wonder why the quality of the song sounds so bit. Like it's just slow in bits. Bit crash or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. Maybe it's just me. Oh, I think the song is just not recorded well. Guess what the heck? Yeah, let's change the song. I'm not sure why it's like that. This is a bit more better in my ears. College always introduces you to such weird things. When I started this semester, I went to my Composition 2 class, one of my core classes I have to complete for my major. Uh, so instead of your typical composition class or any class where you kind of just individualize all your assignments, just do them on your own, my class, however, is completely the opposite. So what we do is we do team-based learning. And I never heard of this concept until just to the start of the semester. I found it quite interesting that we were doing team-based learning. I wonder, has anybody else experienced something like that before in their higher education? Maybe in primary education? Secondary? I'm gonna be honest, doing all these leaves is really tiring. I did it to myself though. We gotta have variants, people. Upgrades, people, upgrades. I'm thinking about a VTuber model upgrade. I mean, I like what I got here, but I kind of want to have something else. We possibly can't upgrade garlic bread. You know, now that you mention it, I don't think I can think of anything to add to garlic bread to make it quote unquote upgradable. Or quote unquote. It's the tiny details that add a heart. Yeah, it is the tiny details that add heart. I do, you know, acknowledge that as a thing, yes. And I'm glad you recognize that. The smaller details add to heart. It adds character. It adds life. I mean, you technically could turn garlic bread into a pizza. It's just the matter of changing the crust into like a garlic bread like crust. Just use regular bread from your wheat grains and then just turn that into like a your crust. Yes, it's like a dough as well, yeast and whatnot. Similar process, I'm sure. I mean, I could be mistaken. Dun, 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 dun. It's an abomination against God, but it's not bad. Anchovies on your pizza is an abomination. It's like I don't understand the pizza argument with pineapple. Pineapple on pizza can be pretty good. That's just my opinion. Though whoever makes it needs to know how to properly cook a pineapple. Don't ask me how to properly cook one. I've never done it before, but I just know that there's certain ways you can cook a pineapple and it just tastes better. And the things you can do, it's just food is all about flavor. That's what you want to capture when you make food is have some sort of attracting flavor. Like in my family, sometimes if we want to add flavor to something, we add tahine. Tahine is just like a little, I guess, addition to your little foods. It can also be served as like a small little treat. That's why us Mexicans can be, I guess, inventive sometimes. I personally don't like the texture mashup when there's pineapple. Yeah, I've heard people say the same thing. Just the texture mashup and whatnot just is not appealing to the consumer. I've seen atrocities. The worst thing you could have on a pizza is banana. I'm sorry, but who in their right damn mind is using banana and putting it on a pizza? Now that's where we draw the line, folks. We can't have that. That is just a big no-no. Bananas should belong on things like pancakes. Hot take. But no. No, just no. Why? Why? You love tahini and avocado. I love avocado. Avocado is my favorite. I love that stuff. A lot of people don't like avocado, and I find that surprising. One of my grandmothers, they don't like avocado because of its weird, mushy texture. Same with one of my friends. They also say the same thing. I mean, I guess I can understand it, but it depends on the avocado you try. There are different types of stages of ripeness of an avocado, so you just gotta get lucky, I suppose. What? Disconnecting. Huh? Hello? Is chat still alive? Are we back? Okay, so we just had a hiccup there. This is what I was afraid of when I mentioned about my streaming last night. The internet where I am at currently is just not that stable due to the cold weather that has came over into Texas. Um, so if that ever happens again, I apologize for the inconvenience. Anywho, back to what we were doing. Um, I was talking about avocados. Avocados, of all things. I like avocados. Good stuff. Good stuff. Need to fix this up a bit. For the center of the leaf, we want to make sure it's dark. That way we can actually have that illusion that it is having depth, which is a good technique to always consider when you're doing stuff like this. I need my soft eraser to fix that, my bow. Because what the hell is that? Okay. Alright, next thing we're going to do... Okay. Next thing we're going to do is go to have our multiply layer selected. Then we're going to go to our Gaussian blur. So this is before, this is after. We don't want it to be too strong because if you do it strong, you're just going to dissipate it. It's just going to blend in with everything. So we're pretty much just feathering it. And what feathering is, it's just the softening of your pixels. And it kind of splays them out a bit more evenly. And where it is not so hard and tough in certain spots. So that's a good tool to utilize. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna make a new layer, clip it to the bottom, and then, or just the layer below it, get our soft light, and then we're gonna go to our green section, get a light color, get our soft airbrush. I'm gonna try to gently apply like a little light strokes in certain spots. I need to turn the opacity down from my airbrush to like 60. My vessel craves hydration. Be right back. Alright. That's an interesting way to refer to oneself as a vessel. You wouldn't be wrong. That's one way to describe yourself. You're a vessel. In biological terms, you would be called a organism. I remember back when I was in middle school, we were in biology course, and my classmates with an S at the end would sometimes say organism as orgasm. And just for future reference, my streams are not PG-13. They're more of like 16 plus, people with matureness. So you'll hear things that are not intended for 13-year-olds or below. I mean 15-year-olds and below. Hello, Shadoxis. How was the anime watching? We should be back. Yeah. Yeah, we're having a little disconnection issues. This is not good. So in order to prevent that, I'm going to enable my hotspot real quick. And we're going to swap over to a new Wi-Fi network. So we don't have this issue occur again. I don't want that. So unfortunately, it looks like hotspot is not an option because it cannot be supported. So that is a shame. Fortunate. Unfortunate. Let's see. I don't have a second monitor, so I need to use my phone as my chat. No, it's not you, it's me. Don't know where to put my phone. I'll just put my phone in my lap. I'll re-chat that way. Anyway, back to what we're doing. If we keep cutting out, we're just gonna keep cutting out. I really hate that I expected this. Gauge and blur for the lighting. blends in too much. But we can't do Gaussian blur for the lighting then. I think we could do a regular blur. What is this music? Okay then. Everybody grab your pens. Forbidden knowledge is about to be shared. Oh yes, our forbidden knowledge. You can see it. Actually, I think it's best that I don't put a light on here. Even though it kind of makes it pop, I think it's best to leave it alone for now. I'm definitely going to look into this later on when Genki applies this to a texture, or texture to a model. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate my base texture, hide the previous one, and then I'm going to go to filter, effect, and then I'm going to make a noise. So zoom in. This leaf here on purpose is a different shade of color. Everything else is remaining somewhat the same. Okie dokie. We're gonna apply our grain, our filter. And they look a bit better. We love our noise maps. Additionally, what I could have done, and I might look into it, is that for certain leaves, I can try to find a texture file that has like the realistic leaf engravings on it. It's like randomized patterns. But that's for another time. Not right now. Anyhow. So we're done messing with this. Let's hide that. I think on this layer, I need to make some notes. Da, da, da. Let's see what else. Continue the main stem for the spider leaf. Locate base textures for leaf. Leaf variants. Okay. I left myself little notes for next time. Alright, so we have our leaves here that we were going to work on today. I guess we can say completed in quotation marks. So as I mentioned earlier, little notes make the world go around. Yes, they do. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have like 3 different things for this stream. So we kind of just did our first thing. So for our next thing that we're going to work on was looking at 2 animal concepts or 2 animal creatures. Let me make sure everything's in order first on this project. That's fine. We have our old leaf, our whatever you call that again, Vernon leaf. The old leaf's there. Wherever stems at the bottom. This needs to be looked at again, readjusted. This as a texture thing is just fine. Yeah, we'll go over this another time. Save project. It's saving and close. Okay, so we are done with this for today. I'm not sure how far we're gonna get to number 3 for today, but we'll see. Because in the next 2 hours I do have to go eat. So we're gonna spend the next 2 hours that I have left looking at 2 animal concepts. So bear with me for a second because I'm going to alt tab for a second. Let's see. Okay, so recently we recently we have developed one of the new creatures. This was the leaf cap hare. I'm sure y'all remember from Genki's stream, this leaf cap hare is a bunny that has a leaf on its head. Its purpose, I don't recall, unfortunately, and I feel bad not recalling what its purpose was, but that's okay. We'll remember things and look at them into another time. Actually, I have it documented here. It drops edible herbs when petted. That is its function. And of course, it bounces around. So I have a whole list of creatures that we have been discussing. Ah, I got it. Not sure how much Genki wants me to spill. Sorry, I'm just reading. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and list two creatures. So we're going to look at the Twilight Owl, one of the creatures. We have a Twilight Owl. And then we have a Twigpaw. These are our two creatures that we're going to be looking into today for today's stream. The Twilight Owl and a Twigpaw. So, the Twilight Owl, this creature, let me actually pull up the information on my phone so I don't have to keep alt-tabbing and then writing. I should have done that to begin with. Oh, I went too far. Here we go. So, the Twilight Owl. This owl, it is a large silent owl. Now, the thing about this large silent owl is that it has silver-tipped wings. And its function, it boosts stealth in forested areas. So that's what we got going on for Twilight Owl. I could have written this more nicer, but I'm kind of just writing that down now. And then we have another creature, and we have the Twigpaw. So the Twigpaw is a tiny raccoon. I think I misspelled that. With legs that look like twigs. Its primary function camouflages against fallen branches. So these are our two little creatures that we're going to be looking into today. My Twitch chat is lagged behind. Okay. There we go. Okay. Is the Twigpaw the wooden wolf from your really early concepts? I don't think so, no. The Twigpaw is, from what I recall, is a fairly recent creature that Genki was looking into. Alright. So let me go ahead and... That is not the right tool. Just shrink that down so it's not in my way. I don't know if they're classified as pets, so I cannot answer that for you right now. I apologize. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some research. Let's go to Pinterest. I'm doing this alt tab first before I do anything. Pinterest is being quite a pain. Okay. All right, there we go. It's cooperating with me now. So I'm gonna add a new window capture. Why is OBS gonna be a pain? Okay. I think we're functioning well. All right, so we're gonna start with the owl. We are going to look at pictures of owls, and we're gonna. Fucking hell. Yes, we love our cursed owls. Anywho, I don't care. So we're gonna look at some owls. We're gonna look at some types of owls, see what we can use for reference. So for this owl, it's got silver tipped wings and it's a large owl. A variant that appears after the rain. Yeah, we can look into that. When I think of owl, I think of this. This is what I think of owl, like this type of color. This is a very large owl. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it into media. So there's one of our owls. Okay. All right, let's see what else can we look into. We definitely want to see an owl with its wings spread out, so we have something to have a reference of flying. So I'm going to copy this image, and now we're going to paste it in. I'm going to gather as much references as I can for an owl. Did you hear twink? I said wing. Yes, I said wing. That's pretty cool artwork right here. I like this. This style is nice. This looks like AI. Yeah, that screams AI. That's sad. A harpy owl. I'm not sure which one is similar to what you're looking for. Guessing this. These type of owls right here. Gotcha. Okay. I wouldn't mind looking into this type of owl. Yeah, I was about to say this looked AI modified, but it does get the point across. But I'm gonna go with this. Copy this image. Then paste. They're a fucking giant. Yeah. They look big. I'm not sure if I'm going to have luck finding a heartbeat. Oh, there we go. Oh my. They are marvelously big. I've never heard of this type of owl, though. This is impressive. That's a vulture. That's an impressive size for talons. Let me move my keyboard closer to me. It's far away behind my tablet. Alright. I've copied a lot of owl pictures, but I need to look at more of like an illustrate. What the hell is this shit? I need to look for some illustrations. I should do an ASMR stream. It's probably because I'm looking away and it's making me sound more quiet. I think that's what it is. This is what I'm looking for. Something that illustrated like different positions of owls. I'm gonna copy this. I'm glad they watermarked it. Oh, this is helpful. It's just Hootie. What? Okay. So it has sort of like an an obtuse bend to it. And it kind of has like a slight curve when it goes to the end of the wing. The first digit, I guess. Or maybe... Not sure. I'm sure it definitely would be terrifying in VR. So let's get back to CSP. That's not what I wanted. Oh God. I know what scene you're talking about. That was certainly a scene. Somebody could be scarred for life for that. Okay. So now that we have our references for this owl, we're going to, of course, shove this to the side. Let me turn off this layer. I'm going to shove them up here, out of the way. A group of them, actually, so they're like completely out the way. Reconnecting. Yeah, I know. I apologize for the Wi-Fi. It's so discouraging to make streams and do them. It's just because of that problem. Oh, crud. My legs hurt. Okay. I'm gonna go with a dark brown color. I'm gonna minimize that so I can see. So like we discussed, this owl is relatively large. What else did I say? It's a silent owl with silver-tipped wings. And then it boosts stealth. So we can have something that can boost stealth onto the owl. Alright. Let's go ahead and start off with some small things. What we're gonna do... Let's use this open space. I'm gonna draw a tree branch. Alright, so the next tool that I'm gonna use is... A lot of people don't really like this tool, but it's a really handy tool that I find useful. It's a tool, the lasso tool that I've been using earlier, but it's a tool that creates shapes based on what you draw or something like that. I drew like a little duck. Quack quack. Anyway. So when we look at this owl, it takes on the shape of like an oval twice. But it's like a squished oval. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna draw the feet. Feet first. How many feet or toes do owls have? We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and just add this one here, just as the fourth one. It's going to be a big foot. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Alright. Now for this owl, I think the harpy owl is a really ideal type of owl that we can go for. So we do have these other shapes, but if something is large, it's going to want to look more like a predator, something that's more deadly, something that's intimidating. So we can go with the harpy owl as our main reference for this bird. So let's go ahead and draw some mass to it. Suggestions are really good. Welcome, welcome. Right now I'm just getting my base shapes down of what I want to see. GoPro Artist 3. Yes, I should definitely go pro. That looks like a seagull. This stream almost died again mid-sentence. I'm guessing the stream is buffering. You thought it was your shit-internet? Yeah. So everybody's having the same problem that I'm going through, so that's not fun. I apologize for the bad stream, but I promise you that when you check out the VOD after the stream is finished, you will have a perfectly fine stream. I don't think you would experience any buffering because it should be client-sided, because I am recording my own stream. That is a good question. You've known me for a million years, but you never followed me. I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed. Not really. I'm just. Same, brother, same. So we're gonna need to redo the beak. The face is a bit smaller. So what I'm getting at here, get my hard eraser. Just go ahead and wipe all this off. So it's taking on more like a shape like this. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do another pose. Let's see, what can we do? It's got a long oval-like shape. I think I'm gonna make it more intimidating this way. This right here is just a small, I guess, quote unquote sketch. Remember correctly, bends down this way, stretches that way, then it has that print to it. Then it has that shape. Do want to make emphasis on that. Go ahead and copy this and just edit to the other side. I could be using a symmetry tool, now that I think about it. make my life easier. But who does that for real? Now keep in mind, I don't really draw birds or anything bird related. I think for this... I'm gonna shorten it. So this is going to be a silver-tipped wing. I want to imagine this as like a stone bird with metal uh, feathers, but at the very tips, like blades. We'll explore that in just a bit. Right now, what I'm trying to do is like make some defining shapes. That way I don't lose myself. So I apologize for being just a bit too quiet. I am thinking to myself. It sort of reminds me of a phoenix. Okay. Hmm. We're gonna want to make his talons just a bit bigger. That way they're at least a bit more intimidating than what I got going on. Okay. Let's drag this away. Over here. Yeah, you stay there. Stream disconnected again. Please stand by. You won't be really missing much. I think what I'm gonna do next. Should be connected again. Hopefully we're back. Didn't miss much. When we disconnect, I will stop doing what I'm doing. So the reason why I have two of these, because one's going to be the front, the other one's going to be the back. And this is just your general. Welcome back, Garbage Crafter. Well, the front and back. My leg is falling asleep. This is not good. All right. I'm gonna redo the general one later. But this is what we're currently looking at. Let me merge the layers. Now that I got the base stuff down, let me go ahead and use that brush. Use this brush as well. New layer. Okay. Go ahead and start with the head. Now, I don't think this will be a symmetrical head. This shouldn't be. But for the sake of concept art, maybe it should be. So let's go ahead and do that. If my symmetrical tool does its job, that would be helpful. All right. Let's see. We'll come out like this, and then we'll curve inward, and then bend it down. And then we'll have like a line come in from the side and bend right back in. That way it will indicate your, the jaw, the mandible for the bird. All right. Now, next thing we should look at is developing the eyes. I'm gonna make some fierce looking eyes. This looks like a female. That's okay. We do have to maintain the owl aesthetic too. So let's redo the eyes. Now we can just do the funny little two circles and just call it a day, but I don't think we should do that. Let's see. No. Maybe what I had previously was just fine. So this piece right here is going to be a separate own thing. You got Fashion Diva vibe. Yeah. I'm not trying to make it too much of a gender-based design. Not trying to. I'm not too familiar in how to make feathers. The more unnatural, the more natural. I agree to an extent. Yeah, I won't make it perfect. Stream is reconnecting, so stand by again. Sorry. Just gotta love my Wi-Fi. Why is taking it so long? And it looks like we're back. This connection issue is really what I feared. I don't like that. I didn't do much. I kind of just added like little spikes to the tip of the wing or the joint area, arm. So I gotta remember that the joints here are not exactly joints. They're gonna be metallic. So what we can do is add some sort of indication. These are blades. They'll be pretty funny that what I'm doing is not exactly to Genki's vision. And that's something I fear. Because pretty much what I do with the design is free reign. What I understand. Because I mean, they're silver tipped. So that means it could just be a regular bird. Let's go off with that. Instead of trying to make it like a deadly machine, we'll just make it to a regular bird. But I will say the talent of it being bigger is ideal. Let's see. So what I need to do now is make the general shape of the feet. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. think I'll just keep this regular like that. Then have this come out, structure like that. Nope, too big. I think what I'm gonna do is just trace over what the hell I just did and just resize it. Because I'm not sure how to angle it, I'm gonna be honest. I think I have them kind of crooked legs. See if I can add some sort of dynamic to this bird. I do hope the Wi-Fi is fixed by Friday. Because that is when we'll be doing our next stream. Today just happened to be unfortunate with the connections. Peace out, Shade. Have a good one. I definitely will work on this off stream, and then when we get back here on Friday, we'll look into what we got so far. I might be able to only just work on one bit of this creature today. I gotta do a lot of refining too as well. Alright, so for what I have, it's not bad right now. Now some imperfections. Well, the thing is right now, it's not like it's gotta be great. I just don't know much of bird anatomy enough to do stuff like this. So I have to like cautiously think about it, and it's kind of tough when I'm just like going into it a bit blind. If that makes sense. I think this is what I was kind of aiming for. That big wide. I am going to have different variants of this bird. So this is not just what we're sticking with. I am going to try to do a bird like this here, this type of owl. So we're not just going to be doing the Harvey. Eyes look too human. Yeah, I agree. They kind of do, yeah. But we will explore. It's too big. Something that I'm not gonna obviously stick to that. Just playing around right now. Not a Disney character. I'm not Disney character artist character. Yeah, that whatever the fuck that is. Definitely willing to learn. I forgot to do the tail here. I just do the outline. Yeah. It's basic, basic, basic. Keep it basic. I'm glad I have all this canvas space. Uh, like the side profile a lot better. Yeah, usually different degrees, like within, you know, your typical 360 degree. You have your 90s, you have your 45s, and then sometimes you would have your 180s or 360. But it's all around the center point. Just different things just look better. I'm just jotting random stuff now, right now. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off because I gotta start preparing for dinner here shortly. Let me go ahead and actually save this. Save. Change that to a different layer next time. Or a file, I guess I could say. Alright. So. Stream is definitely going to be ending here shortly. I appreciate everybody who stuck around for this past 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's been quite the roller coaster. We had quite a lot of shenanigans, I would say. Some silly shenanigans with our connections. So to recap, today we covered over the leaf textures and readjusting some textures and drawing a new set of leaves. And then after that, we explored and started talking about the 2 new creatures that we're going to be looking into. We'll catch back up on Friday. We looked into the Twilight Owl, and then we also looked into the Twig Paw, which is that little raccoon with twig legs. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Be sure to slide on by to Project Campfire's Discord if you haven't done that so. If you're new here, feel free to follow and keep in track with the development. I shall link the Discord now. Alright. Have a good one, fellas, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!